Hey, welcome back to Intentional Parenting here at Mariners Church. My name is Jared, and I am really excited about today because I'm sitting with some fellow lead pastors. In fact, our two newest, most recent lead pastors here, and we're going to spend some time talking about how to really engage as a parent, be a present husband and father during busy seasons of life. And so we got Gavin here and Jeremy. Thank you guys for, just hanging out.
Of course, man.
We're going to see where this
Glad
thing
to
goes.
be here.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
All right, so why don't we just jump in? Maybe each of you guys can take a minute and give us a little context of just what is your home like? What's some things that you're learning right now? So for context, we've got Jeremy, who has just launched the Yorba Linda campus for Mariners, and then Gavin and his family are launching down in San Clemente. It's amazing. I think with the exception of Oceanside, you guys span the largest distance in Orange County at this point, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's right.
I don't know how much further. You can't go much further south, actually.
No.
And
if you're a Marine, maybe.
Yeah.
And you can't really go much further north.
No, I'm literally the last
wow.
exit. I live on the last exit of Orange County in Yorba Linda. So,
Wow.
it's...
We've got it surrounded.
Yeah,
you
we
guys.
do.
We're covered.
Mariners, we're on it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Well, Jeremy, why
Yeah.
don't you give us just a sense of your household?
Yeah, it's awesome. So I've been married 23 years. My wife's name's Teresa. Have 3 kids and 3 incredible kids. I have a sophomore, Mia, in college. My son, Chase, he's a junior in high school. And my youngest is 12 and it's in 7th grade. And we're just having a blast. Like, really, I always talk about, like, this is just a fun season for us. We're just having so much fun. They're getting older. And, as a family, one of the things that if you, like, define kind of who we are, one of the things we love doing is we kind of circle all of our kind of gatherings as a family around coffee shops. So we will actually like search out and look for new places. And that's kind of our zone where we like love to get together.
Wow.
We play board games. And it's just kind of that space for us. And we are just coffee fanatics. Hence, my wife serves in hospitality. She just kind of loves that kind of stuff. And then so do the kids. And Disneyland, we're so blessed. We live in Southern California. I can say Disneyland's one of those things that we get to do as a family. And then we are a huge hockey family. So
really?
Play hockey, watch hockey. Ducks, we're semi-happy Anaheim Ducks fans right now. They're on 9-game losing streak and they got one back. Anyways, we just have a blast, and those are kind of like the areas that we just kind of connect with. It's been awesome.
So hockey, from what I don't understand it. I actually I Googled it with my son the other day. Like it actually was on ChatGPT. I was like, explain hockey to me. Because hockey fans are fanatical. Yeah. And they will tell you it's the single greatest sport once you understand it.
I'm going
to give you 30 seconds to win us over because Gavin's not there either.
No, I can't even follow the puck. That's the
Yeah.
hardest part for me.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, think soccer rules, but similar to soccer as far as rules offsides, but there's blue lines, there's red lines. It is the fastest pacing sport, like never stops, most physical. These guys will lose their teeth, break their nose, bust their jaw, come out about and play and keep playing in the game. And there's no regulations like, ow, I'm on the ground hurting. Right. So these guys are just incredible athletes at every level. But it is just fun. Once you understand the game, you actually know where the puck's going, then it actually is easy to follow, and then you just fall in love with it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
It felt like he took a shot at soccer there. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, yeah. As soccer fans, yeah. There was subliminal messaging in there.
No,
for sure.
not intentional.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Understood. Fair enough. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that,
That's
Jeremy.
funny.
Gavin, why don't you do the same for us?
Yeah, so been married 9 years to my wife, Nicole. We have one son, Jackson, and he's 4 years old. We're very much in like the toddler curiosity exploration phase. He is as energetic and boy as they come. We just got him a dirt bike for Christmas. So every single day is about getting on that dirt bike and getting in the mud and falling and getting back up. And the curiosity phase is funny. I'm sure you guys went through this, especially with boys. He has like unlimited questions about really simple, funny things. And then these like big existential life questions. And so we've just had a blast navigating those with him. Sometimes, it's about basic stuff on why do you have hair on your face? It's like, oh man, I didn't pay attention in biology, I guess. Where do babies come from? We just got that one. So you guys could probably help. Yeah. I said, early. Nicole, you take that one. Yeah. And then even, spiritual ones. He's like, where does Jesus live? And we're like, in your heart. He's like, how does he fit? We're like, well, it's kind of a metaphor. He's like, well, then why would you say he lives in my heart if he doesn't live in my heart? And it's like, man, I didn't know this would be so hard. It's like my theology degree did not prepare me for a 4-year-old's conversation, but it's been a blast, man. It's been real fun.
Our kids pastor, Catherine, she just recommended a book that Spurgeon wrote, which was likely a series of sermons, but it's called Come Ye Children. And it really shows the value and the importance of how to teach the Bible to children. And as I was scanning it, I thought, man, if I was raising young kids, this would be gold. You should pick it up though. Because it really helps you understand not only why it's so critical, but how to distill down the importance of theological principles to a 4-year-old. If you can do that, you can kind of do anything.
You could teach anyone if you do that. I'm also learning too on that note, to not phone in the answers. Like he's absorbing some of you guys know this because you have older kids, but there are times where I say something to him or he asks a question and answer it, and then like 3 weeks later he brings it up and I'm like, I didn't even know you were listening or paying attention. Like they're sponges, they're always absorbing. And so that's a good resource to pick up, because I'm sure there's so many things that we can just sharpen our answers on and help them understand, knowing that they are absorbing it and they are learning the same God talking to us as talking to them.
And they're holding on to it.
100%.
Holding on to it and just waiting for the answer that actually like takes care of their curiosity. Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah, and as they age, it starts to become less about answering the question and trying to figure out how to ask them different questions, right? So that they're starting to form their own thoughts. I mean, I know you've been through this. Where
already
you're just
having those kinds of conversations.
You're trying to help them to wrestle or define their own worldview on it.
Absolutely.
And hopefully you're providing the guardrails to it that they can articulate themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in this phase with my son where he's 14, and I can't beat him at Mario Kart anymore. And it's this moment where it's not like we play every day, obviously, but we've done it periodically in his whole life. And just recently, we'll do a tournament, and I might be able to beat him in one race, but when it comes to by the cumulative points of the fourth race, I'm losing every single time, and it's so crazy.
Who's your character? Do you need to be Toad?
I
or
do.
What?
That's a great point. We should really get into this.
That's funny.
I do think that there's probably something about that, but then it's also, I don't know. He's just really
just
dialed
now.
in.
Yeah.
He's just better.
He's just better.
He knows how to drift all the time. I can't figure it out. Anyway, it's really sad for me.
Sorry for
I'd
your
like to
loss.
take a moment and just really.
Yeah,
let's pause on that.
That's a regular rhythm for me right now. Chase can beat me in hockey, 2026. It just doesn't matter. He's benching as much as I am now, and he's like, Dad, check me out. Like, I'm just so proud of him. I'm glad he's working hard, but man, I don't like that. We're in that season where it's catching up, and I'm like, okay, like I'm proud of you, but like now I need to work harder.
Yeah, to be 16. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Yeah. Okay, well, as we think about this, you guys have just launched congregations. Yeah. So throughout the end of the fall, you were building volunteer teams, you were training and coaching, you did some services with Christmas, and then the first weekend of this year, boom, you now have a church. I think you and I were talking on the phone recently afterwards, and you were like, this is the hardest thing we've ever done. And then I said, and good news is you got another weekend this weekend.
That's right.
It's like that train is moving, right?
Yeah.
So you're welcome to bring in some stories of launch and the beauty of the church. I definitely want to get to that by the time we get to the end. But really what will I think resonate to anyone listening is that we've all been through really busy seasons in our life. And a busy season can easily become an all-consuming season. Yep. So then what happens to your family? What happens to your own rhythms of rest? How do you have to redefine what it means to be present with your families? So either one of you guys jump in. I'm just curious, what have you had to do in this season, really from fall to now, to be sure that when you're home, when you're with your kids, you are present with your kids? And you have two very different life stages going on.
Yeah.
So what does that look like for you guys?
Yeah, I think for me, I've actually had to redefine the time, or I would say the amount of time I spend on launch, because I'm wired in a way where like I can work all day, but the list never goes away. So I love accumulating my list to make, and then I'll get home and I want to complete that list, even though I know I can leave that list at home. Yeah. So for me, I've really had to redefine the amount of time. And the way that I've found like useful for me is I actually like at 6 p.m. and I'm still a massive work in progress, like massive work. Like this is not easy for me. I still struggle regularly with it. But what I've done is 6 p.m. comes and I will put my phone somewhere completely out of the way. So it takes extra effort to go after what is a source of mine to like get what I still need to get done. Right. And so it is stressful, and it is an area where I needed to prioritize because it was bleeding in to our family time. We're around the couch, whatever it might be. And if I can get something done, like I want to get it done, that's how I'm wired. So I had to set that intentional environment or place where typically it's up in my room where people know, hey, where's daddy? Is he up in his room getting his phone so he can do like now it's like that extra effort. So it creates that accountability for me. And then what that's done is it's put me present and make sure I am there, and I know it's going to take extra effort to go do that. So I put it away. It's one of those things, and I have a timestamp on it. That way I'm focused from there on out.
You're putting that hard boundary, right? I think that makes total sense. Our kids are similar in age in that, I have this window when I get home where they're interested that I came home. That might make it only 8 minutes before they're like, I'm busy doing my thing again. My daughter, I'll sit with her. I'll help her do a lot of homework and stuff like that. My son will want to talk to me about whatever sports are going on in the day, but they don't need you for very long.
Right.
So the challenge is then how quickly do I pull the laptop out? How quickly am I doing my own thing? But those are really important boundaries that we put in and say, hey, there's a window. Make the most of the window. And by the way, at some point, they're either going to go to bed or they're going to go off and do their homework or go see a friend. And if you need to in a busy season, pull the laptop back out after dinner or whatever it is. That's okay. But I like the idea of really segmenting the time and knowing. And you're doing a really great thing by literally putting your phone upstairs. That way you can't stumble into the work.
Doesn't mean my mind's not thinking, that phone's only 27 steps away. However, it put me in a spot where it's creating new rhythms. And that's really what we want in our family. We wanted, and that I would say is a learning. It's how busy we are. My kids are all driving on their own. They're working two jobs. They're doing all these things. And so we really had to be intentional with not only our family rhythms, but also like our intentional time when we're home.
That's really good. Okay. So 4-year-old.
Unlike you guys, when I get home, work doesn't exist to a 4-year-old. And
your dad's home.
It's like, dude, it's time to wrestle and dirt bike and do all things. No, I've learned a ton being here, to be honest. And I think Eric Geiger, our senior pastor, has done an incredible job of modeling this, but also teaching it. Something he shared, that I resonate with is the window of time from when you get home from work till your kids go to bed is the most important during the week. Work is always there. It will always be there. That's not unique to us in ministry or launch season or anything like that. Anyone who has a job will be consumed by that if they allow it. And Eric helped me realize that it is so important to shut it down. When you're home, be with your kids. Jackson does not care what meetings I had today. He does not care what stretch goals I have. He doesn't even know what those are. What he cares is that his dad is home and I'm present with him. And that realization through Eric's teaching really was massive for me of, man, I want to set that into place now so that this is his experience, even when he does get older and he has his own things and he has homework or he has friends or he has other sports and things that he wants to do, to know that when I'm here, I'm here. And the work is there before and it's after. And I remember Eric even sharing that he feels like he's able to accomplish just as much, if not more, as the people who work 60, 70 hours a week, who stay late till 7, 8 o'clock. It just looks different. You get up early, you stay up late, you do things at weird hours in order to preserve that window of time. And man, that's been a game changer for me, because like I will bear the burden of work so that my son doesn't have to experience any disconnect or any issues there, any gaps. So that's been a priority. To be totally honest, it's real hard because those distractions are there. Like I'm not perfect at this and I'm a work in progress like you shared. And it's easy for me to, I got to do this really fast so I don't forget. Right. That's like the easiest excuse. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I just got to send this one email. Right. And then that turns into 2 or 3. And then I see another one come in, and it snowballs. So
And then it's daddy, get off your phone. Right.
Yeah. I've tried, it's not every day. It's not always perfect. But what I try to do is when I'm driving home, I'm either making those last phone calls and I will sometimes park down the street and finish a call. I would rather show home 10 minutes later and know that when I walk in the door, I'm not still thinking about the thing, or I'm not walking in the door with my phone to my head, you know, or worse. I mean, I had to do it this week, which is unfortunate. I called a person, didn't get back to me. I ended up getting home, and then the phone rings and I knew I needed to take it. Right. So I look at the kids and go, hey, I'll be right back. I'm sorry. I have to take this one phone call. And they, because of consistency over time, they're fine. This is not ruining a childhood. But you could easily. So you do have to be aware of it sort of as you go.
Yeah. Totally.
So as you guys think about that, even trying to separate work from home, even if you are working from home, like what are some practices that you guys put into place to try to do that transition from I'm in work mode to now I'm in dad mode or husband mode? Are there any tips or tricks that you guys have fostered or developed in your own life?
Yeah, to be honest, I could probably come up with a really good answer that sounds nice. Like, you know, I worked really hard.
But instead, I'm in my car screaming. And then.
Yes. Yeah. So real. Yeah, man, I think really for me, the season that I'm learning and growing into, again, as a relatively new parent, is it's accountability and it's discipline. It's awareness and it's follow through, and it's paying attention to, hey, if I want to cultivate this within my family, I need to just do it. Fortunately, my wife is amazing, and she has so much grace and patience for me, but she'll also tell me when it's like, hey, time to shut it down, time to step into family mode now. And so I feel like we're very much on the same page in that regard. But for me, it really does just come down to, I'm going to make this commitment and I'm going to discipline myself into ensuring this happens. And to be totally honest, it's not easy. That's not even really like a highly encouraging answer. So I hear that and I fail at it all the time. But what I don't want to do is talk myself out of doing the hard work by coming up with some nice, easy answer of like, you know, well, I just do this thing or the other thing or whatever. But instead really commit myself to like, I'm going to do the hard work. I'm going to have the discipline. When I mess up, I expect that someone's going to pull me back to center with alongside other parents, and particularly within my own household with my wife.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the discipline is a really important thing. And part of the commitment you can make as being disciplined with it is, I'm going to work really hard when I'm working and I'm going to be fully present when I'm with my family. Yeah. That's a level of discipline in its own right.
Totally.
Actually, your kids, it's not about we've probably heard this before. It's not the quantity, it's the quality of the time. They don't need you 100% of the time, shockingly. And as they get older, it's less and less, right? But if we can be disciplined to ensuring that the quality of that time that we're giving our family, those are the moments and the memories that you're going to make, and it will accumulate into how they feel and the story they share about their own childhood.
Totally. Yeah. The moments and memories thing is so huge, right? Imagine, you know, our kids are grown and stuff. Are they going to remember, you know, our accomplishments in our career and, you know, that meeting went really well, or that presentation, or are they going to remember the time you had with them at dinner or playing catch or catching up with them about their day and asking those questions? Like, you're totally right. The quality is so much greater than the quantity, and the deeper work that is taking place there that they will remember forever.
That's right.
Yeah, for me, like one of the things that helps me, it's a reset for me. Like when I get home, what works for me is I always have the intentional walk. So the moment I walk through the doors, I'm always like, hey guys, I'm home. So that's my gauge of like who's there, because my kids are everywhere. Like they're at the gym, I'm doing everything. So I'm like, hey guys, I'm home. So I'll hear, hey daddy, hey dad, hey dad. So I'll know that. And then all of us, I will always try to find my wife first. So the first thing I try to do is that intentional walk, and I'll be, hey babe, how was your day? Man, I'd love to hear about this. And we'll have those moments, and just to kind of instantly like reset from pastor shepherd of a church to shepherd of my family, my wife and my family. And so that has worked really well for me to kind of instantly reset me. And then I'll go down the line with whatever of my 3 kids that are there. And we'll just real briefly, how was your day? What challenges did you face? Or was it just a great day? Or it could be, it was fine, Dad. That was good enough. Like, cool. Like, no problem. I'm glad we had the moment where we were able just to say, hey, it was fine, or it was okay, or whatever the sentiment might be of the day. But that intentional walk for me has been pivotal of reset from work mode to dad mode and husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think that's great. And I would encourage everybody, when you get home, it doesn't take more than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I call it the first 15. Like,
Yeah.
just walk in the door and know my first 15 minutes are going to matter.
Yeah.
I'm going to engage with my wife,
Yeah.
and I'm going to go engage with each child for it never amounts to 15 minutes. It doesn't
Never.
take that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet, if you just get in the mentality of it's 15 minutes, like you got 15 minutes,
Yeah.
just go and see. And then find a way to figure out how you can serve someone or in some way before you sit down on the couch. This is, once you get down, it's a little hard to
Yeah.
get back up, right?
Yeah,
But if
yeah.
it's like, okay, there's some dishes to get done, or I know
That's a
some
great
homework's got to
word.
get done. It's like,
Yes.
just go do one thing.
Yeah.
Go do something. It kind of postures your own mentality of like, I serve my family too.
Yeah. And everyone had a busy day, but if both parents are working and kids are just getting home from school and they're piled up homework, it's just like really kind of setting that mode. I think you're right. Like the whole dishes thing, like I think that's something that for me, that's one of those tangibles I know my wife would love help with. I just know it, or taking out the trash. So if that's available, just being in a posture of, hey, I can do that. And stepping into that part and really being present.
Okay, let me ask you guys this.
Yeah.
So, dads, busy seasons, launching things. How are you, or are you? How are you trying to find something in the week that you're doing for yourself? Are you thinking about exercise?
That's a
Are you
great
thinking
question.
about, like, are you playing hockey still?
I know
Are you
me and
are you
Gavin were both
surfing?
thinking, well, this
Like-
guy plays golf. This guy's a stud.
That's true, Gavin.
No,
You
no,
play too
Gavin.
much golf.
Gavin,
No,
plays-
no, no,
This guy is
no.
so incredibly athletic. He's surfing. He's playing
Oh,
golf.
I know it. He's taking a
Very
lot of time for
generous.
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Just pure
Probably
hobbies,
more.
man.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I
right.
could tell from
That's
your
right.
Instagram.
That's San Clemente for sure. Right. Instagram is the full picture, right?
Oh
Let's
my
talk about
goodness.
parenting on
Yeah.
Instagram. Oh man, you should do a whole episode on that. Yeah,
That's a good
the
point.
perception of parenting on Instagram.
That's funny.
Finding time for myself, dude. To be honest, the calendar is the biggest tool for that. So Nicole and I share a calendar, and she's way better at it than me. She's like months out with girls' brunch and dinners and stuff like that. I'm like week of, day of type of guy. So she gets a lot more done than I do in her social life. But that I have learned that that's essential.
Yeah.
Of like, you make time for things that matter for you, and the way you reflect that is usually in your calendar. You'll follow through with something on there. And so we have sat down throughout various seasons just to say, hey, this is important that we have time doing things that we love. And that will actually give us more fuel to love our family and each other well. And so we schedule things out. I mean, that's the way it works. Honestly, like the golf thing is funny, but those are scheduled out all the time.
3 times a week.
Man,
Well,
I know.
no, not exactly.
We're just getting them.
Surfing's tough because of weather and conditions and stuff like that. Also, really early morning stuff.
Yeah.
So that
Yes.
I found that to be really helpful. Like,
yeah.
man, I'll get up at 5 a.m. to go surf and be home before Jackson's awake and help
Yep.
her with the morning routine and all that stuff. So,
Totally.
I think the calendar's been the biggest tool for me, the biggest helpful.
Yeah, our family's same way. Like I think it's being intentional with the calendar, and we put the Disney dates on the calendar and those things as a family. And a lot of mine do derive around family times because of where the seasons of my kids. So like when we are being intentional with our time and doing something fun, it's usually with them. But I will say I love playing ice hockey too. So that's a regular rhythm of mine, except mine start at 10:40 and 11:30 p.m. games.
Oh,
And then it's
wow.
like 1:30 a.m. home or 1 a.m. And
No way.
Yeah, all the old guys, they give all the kids the great time slots, and all the old guys were late, and so we're all just complaining because we're like dying and
Yeah.
it's so we're so tired.
Yeah, man.
But we still do it
Yeah.
because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's because it's
Yeah.
laughter. Hockey's just one of those sports like you could be a little rough and tumble, and then everyone's friends after the game too.
Yeah.
It's just kind of one of those fun things. And
Yeah.
so, but it's always late. It's always late.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
the
think our
margins of the
build
day.
is. I don't think our build is right for that.
No.
Hockey,
No.
rough and tumble at midnight.
I don't think so.
we're made for that.
I don't think so. I
don't know.
I would shatter something real fast.
Can't
But
even
it is
see.
I think you're right. Both of you guys acknowledge that it's the bookends of the day.
Yeah.
You will get up or you will stay up later for the thing that is refreshing, rejuvenating in some ways. And oftentimes you can do those things before the kids get up or even after they go to bed, right? Okay, so family involvement in your ministry. I think this is something interesting as we think about whether it's people listening that are in ministry or they are serving in a local church context, or even involving people in their work, whatever kind of work that is. How have you guys or have you walked through any kind of process to intentionally think this is going to be life-giving for us as a family, And then these are the things that I want to be aware of because could become a burden for our family. I'm thinking set up, tear down church.
Yeah.
Is that life-giving? Is that a burden? You know, Jackson's super young at this point, but even for Nicole, what's life-giving for you guys to do as a family? Opening your home and inviting people in? Or does that feel like a burden because this is our space for our own family? Why don't you guys jump into that a little bit?
Yeah, I think for us, we're still learning so much in this
Yeah.
season of life and parenting as well. But we want to include Jack in as much as we can involving the church, and he loves it. You know, we've seen as he's come into his own and developed his personality, he loves people and he loves attention.
And everyone loves him. He is absolutely the cutest kid ever.
He is. He's a
I
stud.
think he knows it too,
Yeah,
and he
he
definitely
does.
plays into it. And so we want to create environments where he wants to be there, but with a 4-year-old that can change in an instant. You know, one moment he's so excited he has a name tag, and the next he's like, "Get this thing off of me! I don't want to wear this." But the reality is that we want him to recognize and appreciate the church, and that means bringing him around. And you guys know this, kids inevitably are drawn to things that you are drawn to. And if you fan that into flame, I hope you could tell me that has dividends year over year. And so to us, it's more of an exposure phase right now. He can't play guitar on the worship band, although he
Sure.
wants to.
Yeah.
He can't be a volunteer in kids ministry, but what he can do is hold a sign and say hello to people. So he did that last weekend. He loved it. And so we're just bringing him along for the ride. But on the flip side, that is a double-edged sword, right? Because ours can be weird, and we're looking at Rooted launching in a couple weeks, and we want to do it together as a couple, but his bedtime is right in the middle of it. And so we're having that conversation real time of, do we stretch him? Do we not stretch it? Like, is that something we wait for later to do together?
Right.
Does one of us do it now, the other one do it the next session?
Yeah, it's
Because
real.
we don't want him feeling like, oh, I have to go to dad's work again, or oh, I'm so tired and he's melting and I don't want to go back there. We're always there. We don't want that to happen. So it is there's a fine line there, to be totally honest. I don't know what it is. You guys could tell me what that might be. But in the meantime, we're just like, we're going to bring them along. And as we discover where those guardrails are, we'll put more practices into place.
Yeah, I think the exposure is good. I mean, when early on in ministry, I think that was really the goal for us too, was like just getting them to see what's going on and then learning what they love to do. And then like starting little by little to experience it, kind of how we invite people to serve here at Mariners Church. Like we want to just let you see a few things, let you get exposed and test drive that, and then fall in love with it. And that's really what we'll do with our kids. It really is. It's like they are older. They don't have a problem telling me, I like that, I don't like that, you're crazy, like this is, why would you ever think I want to go, you know, like, but I love that. We foster that open relationship and we really want that. So what we've done in this season as they're older is, hey, let's talk about what is life-giving to you? What brings you joy?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we kind of started making these decisions. Mia, my oldest, is a coach for kindergarten through 5th.
Awesome.
And she's just loving it and leading her team. And, you know, it's just been so much fun. Chase is the baby whisperer. Like everyone
way.
talks about
So
how
awesome.
he's like, he comes out every Sunday with drool on his shoulder, and the kids who
So
are crying, they're now like tame and like just love him.
Awesome.
Honor serving in hospitality with her mom, serving coffee, donuts, and just a smile and a high five. And they're just, in this season with set up and tear down culture, like they found what they love. I already know Chase doesn't want to wake up at 5 a.m. to set up with me. Like that's just not life-giving to him.
Right.
But what is life-giving is loving these children and helping them to find peace and be at home in our kids ministry, where it can be so daunting, especially if you're a new family. And so they found their avenues there. And in the moment they don't enjoy it, we'll say, okay, what does it look like for you now? Because we all change. We all have different preferences at different times. And so we just kind of foster that and navigate that road with them in this season, because not only are they trying to like make decisions about life now, Mia being an adult, Chase is right around the corner, you know, we're trying to navigate that aspect, but we also want to make sure they're involved in serving. So how do we navigate that too, so you're continuing to have joy?
Yeah. I mean, if the church is a burden to you, it'll eventually become a burden to your kids, right? If you come home and you express the weight of the church or the frustration that can come with it at times, the just the impossibility of actually meeting everyone's expectations. Like if you wear that on your sleeve, your kids are going to pick up on it at some point. But if you view it as it's life-giving for you and your family, if it is you share stories of how this is the greatest and most meaningful thing we could do with our lives, like that also can shape the direction of how your kids perceive this season. Jeremy, your kids are all really involved, which is incredible. I mean, that's like the dream. And I am curious, just even in this launch phase, because you were not working in full-time church work, although you guys were very involved in a church as you were working in the marketplace. But now in the launch phase, your kids are as in as you are, right? That's obvious. It's amazing. And Teresa as well. What are you seeing already as signs as how this is going to impact their future, potentially even careers, or just how they're thinking about what decisions they're going to make when they are fully out of your home?
Yeah, I think, I'll just use Mia as an example. Like for her, she's on the teaching path. This is almost like a really amazing training ground because she's a sophomore in college, about to get two degrees, 2 AAs. She's going to be transferring. She's already 2 years ahead in schedule. And so like for her, she's like, this has been amazing for me to just learn loving children, teaching them, being able to go through that process. And it's been a life-giving source of preparation for the future.
That's great.
And even this week we were talking about, both of us just had our first I Believes as a congregation.
Yeah,
so amazing. Yeah. And I mean, she was talking about her 17 kids that were in the class, and one of her kiddos, prayed out loud and said, I believe, and put his faith and trust in Jesus. And she got to be a part of that.
Yeah.
That's life-giving.
Yeah.
That's preparation of like, man, this is what it's all about. Right. This is why we do what we do as a family, and why I want to serve here as an individual.
Yeah.
Because I get to be a part of that.
Yeah.
It's just special.
So cool.
Awesome. What are you hoping, Gavin? What are you and Nicole thinking about? Just as Jack looks back on the childhood, he's 4, so he's probably not remembering much of this.
Sure.
But it's going to shape the environment that he grows up in. What do you hope the story is that he tells about just his childhood as it relates to the church?
Yeah, I think we all have core memories at an early age, be it spotty, but there are things we go back to that we remember. One for me, when I was his age, actually, I think I was 3 or 4, my parents built the house that we grew up in. And I remember going to the dirt lot and like throwing dirt at my brothers and whatnot. And then wood started going up and someone bought me some tools, pretend tools. And it was like, I was there building, quote unquote, the house. And then moving in and all the memories that were created in that home for my entire childhood. I think about that season of my life and apply it to Jackson today to think, man, I hope he looks back on this season and has these core memories that are nostalgic, that have shaped him, where he sees that God did an amazing work through his family, but also through him. And he got to see his kingdom be built in a really practical way. And I hope, dream scenarios that Jackson does things like what your kids are doing and being involved in kids ministry or maybe worship one day, because he's really on that kick right now.
Love
that. And that these moments now do shape him and his love for the church because he helped build a church.
Yes.
That would be the greatest gift of all time, to just see, man, he loves the church because he has been in it for his whole life. I can't think of a better outcome.
And if it isn't full-time church work, right, that we don't put the pressure on our kids to like get into the family business. Like, what does that even mean, right?
Yeah. You're joining.
It's not very lucrative.
Exactly. But I think there's something really important that we teach our kids over time, is that the church is not a campus. It's not a collection of buildings. It is the gathering of people. And if we do our jobs really well, if we create a great home environment, our kids will want a career in which they love and serve people, that they look at the gifts, the spiritual gifts that God's given them, the talent that they have, the passions and desires of their future, is that they might be able to serve people well, whether that's in a classroom setting, whether they're going into the medical field, whatever the thing is, right? But that they might see that their role in life is others focused rather than self-focused.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's as important as what the 3 of us do.
Totally.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I'd probably say it's more important, because our job is to equip the saints for the work of ministry.
Right.
There are far more people that are making an impact in the world than the few of us who are leading churches.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how
Right.
it's supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so just as we get ready to close, I'd love for you guys to just give your pitch, inviting people, because you're not in competition. No one's driving from San Clemente to Yorba Linda.
Right.
It's 17 hours, right? It's not going to happen. But for those listening that
Yeah.
are in the surrounding area, come on, invite people to your church. Let's hear what you got.
Sure. Yeah. No, we would love for everyone to come be a part of Mariners Yerba Linda. It's been so much fun. We've seen so many people like hungry to get involved, hungry to step in, hungry for community. We started with 110 volunteers, right? Like that doesn't just happen. Like people are desiring to draw closer to the Lord.
So great.
People are wanting to serve. They want to make an impact for the kingdom of God. They want to make sure that people know the saving knowledge of Jesus Christ, right? Yeah. And so they're like, we're here. We want everyone to be involved. And so I would encourage anyone who really wants to take that next step of saying, man, I love going to church. I love the teaching. I love hearing the word of God. I love growing in my faith. But man, I know there's something more for my life. We have places for you. Yeah. San Clemente, Yorba Linda. We have places for you to be there and grow in your faith and then get plugged in. And man, relationships. I know you know this. Like we'll walk around our campus and we'll watch people smiling and laughing. And it's just the joy that comes over us. We've talked about this, just seeing people connect. There's nothing like it. New communities, serving the Lord. People are saying, I believe. Man, God is so good.
It's the best. And if you have a baby with colic, we got a Chase waiting for you.
Baby Whisper, he's waiting for you guys.
Let's see what he can do.
That's amazing. That's hard to beat, man, to be honest. I mean, you covered a lot of ground on there. That's amazing. I agree with everything you just shared. The only thing I would add is I would say there's no better time to join a church than in launch season. We see that with research, and we're seeing it play out real time. We're all brand new to these communities, right? Even us. And there are no long-standing life groups that have been meeting for 30 years. It's like we don't even have life groups yet.
We're
starting
Rooted, guys.
in 2
Rooted.
weeks.
Everyone sign up for Rooted.
Go straight into Rooted. And so my encouragement would be jump in. There's very few obstacles. You just need to get there and jump into what God's doing, and He'll take care of the rest. He'll connect you to the right people. He'll walk through whatever season of life you find yourself in. And there is no greater thing than community. I believe community is the vehicle for transformation that we experience here on earth. God, through His Holy Spirit, through people. And so as parents, we feel this way. I feel this way. You know, we often hear the phrase that it takes a village, right? I would switch that to it takes a church. Like it takes a church for us to raise families. It takes a church for us to go through life and stay intact, because God is using people to activate us in His kingdom and grow us closer to Him. And so my encouragement is don't wait. There's no better time to jump in than now. And we would love to welcome you and help you find your next step.
You guys, I still meet people at Mariners. Probably once a month, someone comes up and they say, you know, I've been at this church since we were on the Bison campus, which was like 35 years ago. I mean, like they love to tell you the story of I was Kenton's first volunteer.
Yeah.
You guys right now have an opportunity to make those new stories with a bunch of new people.
That's great.
Totally.
Right? I love the way you framed that. It's like there's no greater time than to be a part of the launch of a new church, because you get to tell that story for the next 30 years.
Yeah,
I mean, like really,
good.
people love to tell those stories. So, and I don't want to gloss over the fact that if you go to Yorba Linda, I mean, Jeremy's family is going to help raise your kids.
Yeah.
If you go,
you can help me.
If you go to San Clemente, Jackson will be their friend. I mean, like how cool is that? Like in the kids ministry. It's just the best. It's the best. Well, you guys are amazing. Thanks for what you're doing for the church and for your families. I mean, like what great stories you guys are both writing. I'm grateful for those of you listening. Thanks for hanging with us for the last few minutes here. I want to invite you. We have our next parent gathering. Our intentional parent gathering is after the 5:30 service on Saturday. It's going to be super practical. I've got these planners that we've built. We're going to look at the week, the quarter, and the year, and we're going to really map out how to make the most out of 2026 with our priorities and our values. I'm like, as you can tell, I'm a little excited about it. I just made the slide deck this morning.
Nice.
I'm pumped. So want to invite you guys to that. And if you can't make it, that's all right. I'm going to actually do a recap at it for the episode that'll follow after this one. So thank you guys for hanging.
you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for hanging
great
with
to
us.
be here.
We'll see you guys next time.